shoot his grandmother up.
One of my favorite elements of Wayne is when he provides shock value lyrics, which reflect the horrorcore genre. This is a really cool aspect to his style, as I'm a huge fan of this genre. His flow is incredible on this track, as it matches the feel of the hard-hitting production. Another thing that I like about this track is how Wayne delivers some of his bars. One in particular is where he says,
"Got a million duffled up for the of it shit."
But his delivery on this track is phenomenal overall, as he provides amazing punchlines and metaphors throughout. This is also the best intro from Wayne on his albums in my opinion, as it's incredibly hype and motivational.
Excuse my charisma, vodka with a spritzer, swagger down pat, call my Miss Patricia.
While listening to the Carter 4, Wayne piggybacks off the previous track on this album called Mega Man. His style on the track Mega Man consisted of a very hype flow and fascinating punchlines. When it gets to 6 foot 7 foot, Wayne goes completely nuts on the beat. This time he has a more aggressive flow. His breath control is also impressive, as he spits his verse for about 3 minutes straight, with brief pauses in between. Wayne recites some of the best metaphors I've ever heard on this track, with one of them being where he said, "Life is a bitch and death is her sister. Sleep is the cousin with a family picture." The way he sets this up is very clever. Wayne then continues to recite dope bars and metaphors throughout his verse. The instrumental is another great thing about this track, as it's fast paced, and the samples that play within it is very catchy. The featured artist Corey Guns drops a fire verse as well. He did a fantastic job matching up with Wayne's style, making this an all-around incredible track. All of the elements are great on this track. It appears on the collaboration album he did with Birdman called Like Father Like Son. It's one of the few songs on this album where Wayne raps by himself. The instrumental is incredible, as it's infused with the classic track from Funkadelics called You and Your Folks, Me and My Folks. There's also an organ that plays throughout it, and it's very addictive. This track also samples the line from Wayne's song Go DJ, where he states that he has army guns. Wayne verses consist of him talking about multiple ways to murder his foes. He tells them not to go to war with him, as his arsenal is official. This is one of the many bangers from the Like Father Like Son album.
She had cat eyes, 9 lives, no 10 lines, thigh highs, she ride me like.
Wayne presents Rebirth vibes with this track. The reason I say this is because this track consists of a rock-influenced instrumental. Wayne's vocals on this track are incredible. His delivery is amazing, which fits well with the concept of the song. He expresses how much he needs sex from a particular girl. He tells her that she needs to come to him as soon as possible, as he's literally dying inside without her loving. There's a point on this track where he gets frustrated, which leads to him stating that he's going to call someone else to satisfy his needs. As I said before, the way Wayne recites his vocals on this track is the highlight for me, as he truly sounds distraught.
I'm gonna catch me speeding up a 6 beating up a chick standing over the stove sweating.
Here's where Wayne started to showcase his potential to the fullest in my opinion. You notice his development within his Hot Boy days, as his flow and delivery drastically improved. He also showcased that he can be lyrical as well, as he comes through with some sick bars and metaphors. My favorite line has to be where he says, "If you want grudge, chances slim like Ethiopia." That was pretty sick in my opinion, no pun intended. The instrumental is also hard-hitting, as Wayne raps about murdering those who don't come correct or have his cheese. This is an amazing track all around, as Wayne showcases multiple exciting elements to his overall style.
Original gangster, black clothes and bangers, bullet shells and chambers, fill the L's up, we stay low.
This track is fire. First off, T-Mix produces a smooth instrumental that has incredible elements within it. The synopsis of this song is inspired by the famous phrase, "Gangsters don't die, they get chubby and move to Miami." Wayne recites this in the chorus, and his delivery is contagious. Wayne and Birdman also recite verses about their success, along with continuing to thrive in their business ventures. This one is a major highlight on the Like Father Like Son album, as the overall vibe is great and all the elements come together perfectly.
What's understood ain't gotta be explained, but you don't understand me, so let me.
Lil Wayne ended the Carter 3 with a fascinating track. The production is great, and the concept is greater. Wayne addresses a serious topic as he addresses his issues with society. He also wonders why he's so misunderstood, which correlates to the title of this track, Don't Get It. The sample that's used in the chorus perfectly reflects Wayne's message, as it comes from Nina Simone's hit song, Please Don't Let Me Be Misunderstood. Wayne continues to wonder why he's misunderstood. Maybe a lot of people don't understand what it's like growing up in the hood. This then leads to him talking about how outsiders view the hood while not actually experiencing it. Wayne drops 2 verses on this track, which then leads to a 6-minute monologue discussing these topics. It's really interesting to hear Wayne's viewpoints. Another thing that I like about the monologue segment is that it's raw and seems like it was done in one take. But the kicker about all this is that he ends this track by saying that he loves being misunderstood, as he's someone who came from the ghetto but now lives in the suburbs. I think there are a couple ways to interpret that. I believe he's just saying that he's proud of where he came from, as it's the reason he's in the position he's in now. But as I said before, this was a perfect way to end the Carter 3, as Wayne addresses serious topics. The production in Wayne's verses are great as well.
Let me put my gloves on and my scrubs on. Dr. Carter to the rescue, execute.
Dr. Carter is probably one of the best songs throughout Wayne's discography. Wayne brings a high level of creativity on this track, as he'll present an amazing concept. He'll refer to himself as Dr. Carter, and his mission is to save his hip-hop patients as they suffer from having skill, lyricism, creativity, and swag. He'll fail to save 2 of his patients, which would then lead to him trying to save the 3rd. Wayne's receptionist would inform him that the last patient mostly has good vital signs, as he has respect, good concepts, and his overall style is also good. All he truly needs is swag. This would lead to Wayne saving his last patient, which is then revealed to be hip-hop itself.
Here's the night, smack his face, his eyes open, I reply with a night. Welcome back, hip-hop, I saved your life.
The concept here is just incredible, and Wayne would do exceptionally well on his verses. His bars are great, and his delivery is perfection. Another major highlight about this track is the instrumental produced by Swizz Beatz. Now, one thing that I've noticed is that Swizz Beatz really didn't change much from the sample track, which is David Axelrod's Holy Thursday. But with that being said, I'll still give Swizz Beatz credit for providing this sample for Wayne, as it fits the concept perfectly. The beat is uplifting and kinda sad at the same time. When Wayne is in the process of helping one of his patients, we'll get a sense of hope, which would then lead to sadness. But once he actually saves hip-hop is where that sadness will go away.
Like, hey, brighter than the sun ray, got a pistol on the playground, watch the gun play.
I could literally go on about how great this song is, as there's a lot of elements about it that are amazing.
Foreign everything, I turn my scary dreams into fairy wings.
This song is incredible all around. Wayne provides a very animated style that matches well with the concept. He talks about how he woke up broke with no luxury items. This made him very sad until he realized it was just a dream. The moment he realized he was dreaming is a very hype moment on this song, as when he recites the lyric, "Thank God it was just a dream," it literally feels like you're witnessing him wake up from a horrible nightmare. This is due to how well he recites this lyric. The rest of this song is filled with multiple creative styles from Wayne that work incredibly well with the production. This is an all-around unique track that's executed remarkably. There was a time where I was afraid to admit that this song was good, based off the fact that I didn't want to listen to mainstream music back then. But listening to this one again, it's really amazing, as Wayne provides incredible verses that consist of clever wordplay and witty punchlines. The instrumental is extremely hype, which matches perfectly with Lil Wayne's overall delivery. The synopsis of this song is also motivational, as Wayne talks about his lavish lifestyle and how he's going to continue to reach great heights in his endeavors. There are a ton of memorable punchlines, with my favorites being when he says, "His girls don't wear pants that show their butt cracks, as that's where he stashes his dope." I also like when he said that he's riding in his car alone, only to correct himself by saying he isn't technically riding alone, as he's got a Rambo gun in his trunk that's making his car pop a wheelie. In conclusion, this is an incredible song all around, as it has a multitude of exciting elements.
A young nigga screaming fuck the world and let him die, behind tents trying to duck the world and smoke and ride.
This is the best track on Lil Wayne's debut album, The Block Is Hot. He shares his real life struggles as he's dealing with the loss of his father, who was killed by gun violence. He admits that this event affected him greatly, as there is a constant battle of him continuing to go through life the right way, as he also has a daughter to raise. The whole vibe of this track is great, and it's definitely one of Wayne's best songs.
Voices in my head, wild horses in my head, running around, horse playing, breaking parts up in my head, waking.
Wayne and XXXTentacion work incredibly well on this track. Their chemistry is like no other, as they both did a fantastic job providing gloomy and depressing vocals. I feel like these two would have made a great collab album, as their styles are similar in a lot of ways. Wayne also taps into his horrorcore bag with this one, as his lyrics consist of him wanting negative thoughts to get out of his head. He admits that he can't get these thoughts out of his head, which leads to his mental state getting worse. XXXTentacion provides infectious vocals on the chorus, which also involves him singing. This song also has a hype element to it, as XXXTentacion and Wayne loudly chant they can't get the voices out of their head. There are so many aspects of this song that are amazing, making it one of Wayne's best songs of all time.
Say go DJ, let my DJ. Say go DJ. DJ, cause that's my DJ.
This track holds one of Manny Fresh's best beats in my opinion. The instrumental is incredible, and Wayne's style on this track is superior. You can hear the confidence in his flow, which also highlights his personality. Wayne also did a fantastic job showcasing his lyrical ability as he presents hard-hitting punchlines throughout this track. The synopsis of this track is him exalting his status in the rap game as he's a force to be reckoned with. He also gives praise to his Cash Money crew as they're responsible for his success. The chorus is incredibly catchy, which involves Wayne hyping up his DJ as he's a mastermind when it comes to his production. This is an incredible track all around, and it's a certified classic as well.
Hit me. Right in the sternum this time, T-baby.
The whole vibe of this track is great. T-Mix and Batman, the producer, create a smooth motivational instrumental that makes you want to get out and get your grind on. Wayne provides motivational bars that's going to make you get up off your ass and make mad paper. Wayne provides another motivational speech on the chorus as he showcases how he grinds on a daily. A major highlight for me on this track is when Wayne says his infamous phrase. I'm referring to when he calls himself the Birdman Jr. When he says that he's the Birdman Jr. on this song, Birdman then follows up by making bird chirp sounds.
You know me, they call me Birdman Jr. Anybody murderer.
I thought this was really dope on this track as it adds to the overall motivational element of the track. This one's most definitely a serious banger.
And man, I miss the times we would shine. You would keep me on your side. You would teach me how to ride, and you would.
Wayne gets emotional on this track as he dedicates it to former members of the Hot Boys. BG, Juvenile, and Turk eventually cut ties with Birdman for their own reasons. This led to Wayne being the only one that stuck around. BG, Turk, and Juvenile also diss Wayne and Cash Money on tracks, which Wayne acknowledges. He mentions that he didn't respond to BG's disses in particular as he has that much respect for him. He tells Juvenile that he misses hanging with him, and he also reminisces on all the good times he had with Turk. You can definitely hear the pain in Wayne's voice, and the chorus is another highlight as the singer did an incredible job providing heartfelt vocals.
My bars passed the bar exam, no law school, Cash Money Army, veteran with my war wounds.
I've said this about Wayne before. He's an artist that has a lot of horrorcore elements in his lyrics. This track has this type of vibe, and Wayne executes this perfectly. First off, the instrumental is wickedly good. It involves extraordinary piano melodies, which Wayne flows perfectly over it. Wayne's lyrics consist of him saying very vile things as he's not a human being. This track also did a fantastic job setting the tone for his album, I Am Not a Human Being Too.
Bitches called a foe, murder's all she wrote, lies fuck everybody.
Wayne starts off his album The Carter 4 with a bang with this track. I instantly get mixtape Wayne vibes from it. The reason I say this is because you know that Wayne is freestyling just by how he's delivering his lyrics, which consist of a ton of clever punchlines. The instrumental fits Wayne's style perfectly. It is produced really well, and I like the horns that play throughout it. This was the perfect way to start off The Carter 4.
My leather's so soft, my top so soft, I probably have it all.
When I tell you that this song is incredible, I'm not lying. First of all, the instrumental is godly as it's laid back, and the guitar sound is very addictive. Wayne drops amazing verses along with reciting a dope chorus. Birdman killed his verses as well. The track's synopsis is about how dope their rides are, which leads to it attracting the baddest of females. You're gonna definitely bump this one when you get that fly whip. For years, I despised the song Lollipop based off the fact that I was someone that didn't care for mainstream rap at the time. Funny thing about this though is that I always took a liking to rappers that were unique and did things that were outside of the box. I will admit that I wasn't a fan of autotune back then, as I preferred more traditional hip hop, but times have changed and now I've realized that all autotune doesn't sound bad. Now that I sat down and genuinely listened to this track, I've grown to find it extremely good. First off, the instrumental is very addictive, which leads to Wayne's auto-tune vocals fitting well over it. His style overall on this track is really good, as he does so many unique things with the use of auto-tune. The opening line of this track is hilarious and dope at the same time, as Wayne would start off by saying, "No homo, he's so sweet, make her wanna lick the rapper."
No homo. I said he's so sweet, think I wanna lick the rapper.
Which is a play on the word rapper. He's basically saying the candy is so sweet that it makes her want to lick the candy wrapper. And by him being a rapper, it makes her want to lick him. He had to say no homo to erase the fact that he called himself sweet. This is honestly one of his most fire lines in my opinion, as it truly showcases his lyrical ability. But speaking of lyricism, the rest of the track isn't lyrical at all, as the rest of it consists of Wayne coming through with melodic vocals. This works well for this track, as it kinda turns this song into a ballad. I also must talk about the late great Static Major's input on this song. I actually like Static Major's part of the song more, as it brings that smooth melodic vibe to the track. Honestly, I'll go as far as to say that this song is perfection and it was destined to be a hit.
Pussy ass nigga stop hating. Lil' Tune chick got that fire. And these hoes love me like Satan.
When I used to hear this song in passing, I remember saying that it sounds like horrorcore type rap, especially the line where Wayne says his girls love him like Satan, which I've always thought was a reference to good girls turning bad. As I'm now listening to this track fully, I can say that it was perfected. Drake and Future did an incredible job on the chorus. The vocals are low in tone, which adds to the dark element of the track. Wayne performed remarkably on this track as he provides great flows and lyrics.
Faded off the kush, I'm gone. Only 2 years old when daddy used to bring them hookers home. Looking like my...
Just as Wayne did on the intro track on his album The Carter 4, he recites clever metaphors throughout this entire track. I like when Wayne raps like this, as it's his signature style. It also seems like this is the style that he enjoys the most, based off how he delivers his lyrics. It just feels like he's having a great time while recording tracks like this. This then transfers to the listener, as I also have a great time listening to this song. The instrumental is amazing, as it's very upbeat and bumps like crazy. This is just an amazing track all around, as Wayne provides an incredibly good performance over hype production.
Where everything happening today, you don't know whether you're coming or going.
On this song, Wayne provides a deep concept and it's executed extremely well. Wayne talks about how he looks into the mirror in order to reflect on his life. He talks about his past along with his current struggles. Through the end, he knows that he can trust himself to always get through hardships in life. The instrumental on this song is phenomenal. It has a depressing yet inspirational feel to it. Bruno Mars provides incredible singing verses on the hook as he reiterates on the concept of this song. All in all, this was an all-around amazing track, as every element was executed perfectly.
Stepping at the motherfucking call, day and all. I'm looking like a star, bitch, when you see.
This one right here is an absolute banger. The first thing I noticed was how hard the instrumental was. The instrumental is fire all around, as it consists of a great bass line that knocks through my speakers. Wayne comes through with fire verses that are recited with an immaculate flow. The lyrics are also motivational, as Wayne raps about how much he enjoys his riches, as he has to work incredibly hard to obtain his flashy lifestyle, which consists of luxury cars, jewelry, and fine chicks. But I can't talk about this track without addressing the line, "Dear Mr. Toilet, I'm the shit. Got these haters pissed cause my toilet paper thick." That was hilarious the first time I heard it. That boy just created a rhyme scheme with dookie, pee-pee, and toilet paper. But this one is fire overall, as every element about it is great.
I call them April babies, cause they fools.
Everything about the track Mr. Carter is perfection. First, I would like to highlight the amazing production from Infamous and Drew Correa. The instrumental itself is really dope, but the highlight for me was the supposed sample that was used.
Hey, Mr. Carter.
Hello.
Tell me, where have you been?
You know.
I say supposed sample, as it really isn't a sample, as Drew Correa and his friend Chiron Prescott wrote and sung the hook. They were also able to convince Wayne that this was a sample as well. I mean, when I heard this track for the first time, I thought it was an old sample from either a movie or a song from back in the day. This is definitely the work of very skilled producers. But speaking of the chorus, it will prepare you for the concept of this track, as it will ask the question of, where has Mr. Carter been? Which refers to Lil Wayne. Wayne would then answer this question by stating that he's been grinding, hustling, and working his hardest. Weezy's bars on this track are incredible as well. My favorite line would have to be where he'll reference the seasons.
Man, I got summer hating on me cause I'm hotter than the sun. Got spring hating on me cause I ain't never sprung.
The metaphors were just crazy there. He'll continue to do this on this song, which adds to his dopeness. Jay-Z is the featured artist here, and it's very fitting, as his last name is Carter as well. Jay-Z would also answer the question by telling everyone that he's also still on his grind, and he'll also acknowledge his status in rap as he's an OG in the game. He'll also pass the torch to Wayne, as he's on his way to be considered one of the greatest rappers of all time. This was just an overall amazing track, as every element was perfected.
Oh, girl, I love you so. Good Lord Almighty, I'm in love.
This is another song with a deep concept that's executed perfectly in my opinion. Wayne reflects on the time he used to be addicted to cocaine. He talks about how good the drug made him feel as he felt no pain. All of his problems suddenly vanished when he used this drug. Kevin Rudolph is the featured artist, and he did an exceptional job singing on the chorus. His lyrics elaborate on what Wayne is describing. He also states that if he could go back and change his ways, he wouldn't. This is a really dark song, as we're witnessing a past drug addict talking about how good a drug made him feel. What's even more wicked is that Wayne states that he left cocaine alone as he substituted it for weed, but from time to time, he still thinks about how good cocaine made him feel, which will lead to him saying that he might try it again. All in all, this is a phenomenal track. The concept is great along with the performances.
Pop me a perk and that's moment some loud. Oh my god, I'm getting personal now. All I can see is the purplest clouds. Oh my god.
Wayne's flow on this track is impeccable. This track includes 2 instrumentals, and Wayne flows over them both perfectly in my opinion. He also provides a lot of metaphors and punchlines, which adds to the overall enjoyment of this track. He basically freestyles, which is very reminiscent of mixtape Wayne, and we all know this version of Wayne is pretty phenomenal.
Hop in my phantom and drop to my phone, start roaming. Yeah. Lord, I don't want to talk to no.
This is a great motivational track. Wayne delivers his verses extremely well, and when the beat drops in the beginning, it's nasty. Wayne's lyrics consist of him continuing to go through life, no matter the hardships you may face. Wayne isn't going to let negative things stop him from ultimately reaching his goals. The instrumental is really good. It has that inspirational feel to it, which leads to Wayne dropping great verses.
Mama always told me I was crazy, and I always say I'm amazing, but I don't listen to it.
This was a track that originally appeared on the Carter 3, but was eventually taken off due to the original artist not appreciating how their song was sampled. This track samples original lyrics from the song Play With Fire from the Rolling Stones, but the version on Wayne's album was inspired by Ruth Coupland's rendition of the original Rolling Stones song. At first, Street Runner used Ruth Coupland's version as a sample on Wayne's album, but couldn't clear the sample, so they tweaked the lyrics in order to avoid copyright. Betty Wright would be the featured artist on this song, and she would sing the newly changed lyrics, but the lyrics still sounded identical to the original song, which still led to them being sued. The lyrics to the song would set the tone for the track, as it explains someone who's currently living the rock star lifestyle and is about to set the stage on fire. Wayne's verse would then consist of him giving his aspect on women, which would be deemed sexist from the copyright owners, which led to him being sued. He'll also continue to state how he's one of the best in the game, which leads to him coming with incredible lyricism. My favorite lines on this track are at the beginning of the second verse, where he states that you're not great until somebody assassinates you. This would lead to him demanding to be assassinated as he's great. He'll then compare his greatness to Martin Luther King. Not so much the political aspect, but by the fact that he checks into the same hotel where MLK was assassinated.
So assassinate me, bitch, cause I'm doing the same shit Martin Luther King did. Checking in the same hotel, in the same suite, bitch, same balcony, like assassinate me, bitch.
The way he set up that bar and delivered it was purely amazing. He'll also get personal on this song as he reflects growing up in his mother's household. The setup for those lines was extremely dope, as he'll state, "Mama named Sita, I love you. Sita, remember when your second husband tried to beat you? Remember when I went to the kitchen, got the cleaver? He ain't give a I ain't give a neither." Bro, I'm amazed by this dude's lyrics and delivery, cause his verses and creativity is just too fire, pun intended. This track is a major highlight for me, as every element about it is incredible. From Betty Wright's incredible singing vocals on the chorus, to Wayne reciting dope verses with the unique delivery.
The loser, microphone abuser, feet hurting, I just walk from.
On this track, Wayne did away with the auto-tune vocals he constantly used on his Rebirth album, which led to him naturally rapping and singing his verses. His natural voice fits better on the rock-influenced instrumentals, as he did a great job matching the vibe of the tracks. The concept is about Wayne running towards the end of the light and wonders what's at the end of it. He also states that no matter what, he's going to make it at the end, which also refers to him going to heaven. His lyrics are amazing, as he provides interesting metaphors. Chanel is the featured artist on this track, and she absolutely kills it on the chorus. Her singing vocals fit perfectly on the rock instrumental. Another thing Chanel did that was amazing is assist Wayne remarkably on all her features on the Rebirth album. Their collaborations were so good, I believe they would have been great as the lead singers in a rock band.
Somebody tell me where to go.
Beautiful lover, I'm surprised there's a God that can judge.
This is a very slow song. Wayne and The Dream did an amazing job on their vocals. Wayne surprised me the most, as his singing vocals sound really good. I didn't even recognize him the first time I listened to this track. That's how different and good his singing vocals are. His chemistry with The Dream is phenomenal, as their melodic performances blend perfectly together. I will also go as far as to say that this song holds Lil Wayne's best singing performance throughout all of his projects.
Don't let your mouth open up, cause you don't wanna see the handgun open up.
This is a track about Wayne murdering his foes, but this time he raps about how he murders snitches. The instrumental and chorus are extremely catchy, and Wayne did well on his verses. This track is definitely a gem on the first installment of the Carter, as everything about it is good. I definitely remember this track from my high school years, and just like Wayne's song Fireman, I was afraid to admit that this track was good due to the fact that I didn't like listening to popular artists back then. Every time I heard this song or watched the video on BET, I was always like, this kind of bumps, which led to me putting on my headphones in order to listen to something different. But since I'm more open now, I'm not afraid to admit that this is a serious banger. First off, the instrumental is absolute flames, as it's extremely catchy and addictive. That upbeat tempo mixed with those horns is just phenomenal. Wayne and Birdman kill their verses and their chemistry is immaculate. This song was definitely meant to blow up, as every element of it is on point.
Mama said God took his time when he made me. I put my pride to the side, offset.
This track is incredible all around. The instrumental has a dreary feel to it, but at the same time, Wayne recites inspirational lyrics. He flows exceptionally well over the infectious instrumental. His lyrics consist of him telling listeners that his mother told him God took his time when he made him. This refers to him being a major blessing in her life and many others. This also refers to him being talented in order to showcase it to the world. Wayne showcases great skill on this track, making it a major highlight on the 5th installment of his Carter albums.
Got a new one, I'm not impressed. And if he tryna flex, you can give him my.
This track was executed perfectly in my opinion. I love the smooth instrumental. The drums are played so well. Wayne showcases his vulnerability as he reflects on a past relationship. He informs the listeners that he's gone through a lot of days without his significant other, and it's affecting him drastically. The featured artist BB Borelli did an incredible job on the chorus. Her singing vocals are great, which adds another awesome element to this track.
I done spent so many